Welcome, everyone. Welcome to a new edition of Remixing Politics and Culture with me, your host, Pam. I am a public relations and marketing professional with a passion for social justice, voter advocacy, and culture. And tonight, I have a very special guest, one that I was actually quite surprised to host. January 6, 2021 had me and many Americans in great shock and disbelief. I never imagined that I would interview or have a conversation with someone having to who was involved in any of these activities. But I ran across Pam Hemphill, my guest tonight, on a YouTube video interview and was absolutely intrigued with her honesty and her ability to speak truth to power about who Trump is and what the Maga movement is all about. I see some of you saying hello already. Hey, Shelly Howie. Hello, Loretta. Hello, everyone. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about who Pam Hemphill is. She is known today as the ex-MAGA Granny. This name was given to her by former Fox broadcaster Tucker Carlson. Pam is a retired substance abuse counselor with 28 years of experience in the field of addiction. She retired in 2011. Pam has 3 adult children and 2 grandchildren. She is divorced, but is now in love with a wonderful man who happens to be a Democrat and shares her values. Her words, I love, so I've got to talk about it. Pam clean and sober for 45 years. Welcome to the show tonight, Pam.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. I'm gonna say hello to a few of these guests. Hey, Shelly Howie. She's in a red part of Michigan, Pam. Loretta, hey, Sora. Hey, Suzette. Hey. And this person was here early, toasty roasty politics. Okay. Oh, hello, everyone. All right. So, Pam, I've read so many articles and videos of you, and I just find you to be the absolute most interesting person. Let's just start with the beginning. How did you become involved with MAGA? I know you've always been a Republican in your red state of Boise, Idaho. I understand that. But MAGA, how did that happen?
You don't know that there's going to be a separation and just be called MAGA, now that I see what's happening, they put them in a box and they belong there, lock it up. Well, it's really kind of a long story, but I'll try to explain real quick. After
time, we're not like. See, I'm unlike the networks. I've got some time, so you can talk.
Well, after I retired as an alcohol and drug counselor, I was kind of bored, and I had been watching Democracy Now, and they were talking about the Standing Rock protest up in North Dakota, and I said, "Oh my God, they can't be harming the Native Americans." So I ran up there to help them. But the elders told me that had been hijacked and that I should go because it's becoming dangerous. So I came back and I watched it every day and wrote a book about it. However, I wrote coming from a MAGA stance. So that book is an amends that I'm going to keep the history of Standing Rock, but I'm going to get rid of the beginning and the ending because it comes from a MAGA. But the middle is the history of Standing Rock protests, the no DAPL, when they were trying to put a pipeline through their land. And after that, Trump came along, and there was an event going on for the Second Amendment here in Boise, Idaho. So I went out and videotaped that. And I have been doing some community TV shows for the community as a recovering alcoholic and drug counselor to help with the heroin addict problem we were having in the community. So I just did that as a volunteer, and that was fun. But the MAGA girls had heard about me and asked me if I would come out and videotape when they're interviewing people and doing their flags on the corner. I said, sure, I'll come out and it'll be fun. And it became like a community, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, you could see all the gaslighting and all the disinformation I was receiving, but that's why I share with everybody. You need to fact check. I had no idea we had a disinformation war going on,
Mm-hmm.
that disinformation was being put out there, and you need to fact check everything you're hearing. So that just led me to another video I saw on Facebook. It was with Ammon Bundy. He was starting the first people's rights movement. And so
The
I went there.
the Bundy people.
Oh, yeah, you can go on YouTube. I still have some of his videos. I got rid of a lot of them because I got mad at him when I came back on January 6th because I had all that programming from these far right people. You know, he's a beautiful talker,
Mm-hmm.
carries a Bible,
Oh,
and he convinces you that the government is overreaching. But I was with him for 2 years and videotaped everything he did. I was at all his arrests here in Boise, Idaho, had
mm-hmm.
all videotaped everything. But at the end there, they went into the emergency room at St. Luke's Hospital here in Boise, Idaho,
Mm-hmm.
without a mask. And I
Mm-hmm.
got mad, and I have a video on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I yelled at them. I said, "Get out of this hospital!" And they turned on me and called me a FBI informant or something.
That this was during COVID.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Okay.
don't go into emergency room without a mask. They were in there protesting. So
Oh,
that got me upset. I'm all one for standing up with signs and screaming, but you don't break the laws. You don't break other people's rights.
right, right, right.
So from there, well, there was a lot of events I had spent doing,
Mm-hmm.
but right after that, January 6th happened, I had learned that I had breast cancer. I had to have breast surgery, and I was scheduled for chemotherapy coming up. I think it was January the 20th or something. And my brother called and said, "How would you like to go see Trump in Washington? It'd be your last chance." And I thought, "Oh, yeah, because, with chemotherapy, you're not going anywhere for a while." And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, all the events I've ever seen on television for Trump have been peaceful. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
True.
it'll be fine. Nobody's going to do anything crazy, right? Now, they may have to protect us against, thinking at the time,
Mm-hmm.
the Black Lives Matter might be there and start trouble. This is what they said.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now I know. But
Uh-huh.
so I went there, and in the morning, I got there too late, about 10:30, because I
Uh-huh.
was up all night the night before videotaping the speeches and things they had going on. They were trying to find the Black Lives Matter that night, and you know what they would have done. But they
Right.
were being protected by the police that night on January the 5th. But the next morning, I realized I couldn't get through that crowd because by accident, somebody could hit me, and I still had 40 stitches that weren't completely healed yet.
Uh-huh.
I had to protect that area. So I started walking around, and it's like a love in. Everything's peaceful, and they're selling T-shirts. It's a fun little thing. And I said, "What's going to happen next?" Somebody said, "I think he's going up to the Capitol." And I thought, "Why is he going up to the Capitol? Well, he's having a speech right now."
Mm-hmm.
But I started walking towards the Capitol, and I asked somebody in the media, and they said, "I think I heard he's going. Yeah, I think he's going up there." Another
Mm-hmm.
person said, "I don't know." But I just kept walking, and that's when I ran into the Proud Boys. And
Now,
I
now let me interject one quick thing. Ask you a question. Of this crowd of people, you know how when you're mixing and mingling with the crowd, did you happen to meet anybody who had been transported there via bus?
I
Remember,
wasn't looking for that or thinking about that. No, I wouldn't know. They
oh,
probably could have been, but I
mhm.
wouldn't know.
You know, I'm asking that question for a reason because Jenny Thomas, the narrative was that Jenny Thomas had rented several buses for people to come. And I can't remember from what areas, locales they had come from, but they were to come to the Stop the Steal rally. Okay, carry on. You met with the Proud Boys. You ran into the Proud Boys.
And because Trump said stand back, stand by, I had never met the Proud Boys. I only seen them on video. So I asked them if they're the Proud Boys. He said yes. I said, "Are we going inside the Capitol?"
Mm-hmm.
Legally, I
Uh-huh.
should have said legally. How do I know they're going to go illegal? But I thought they're going to be with Trump, maybe as a second security, a watch out kind of thing. And I wanted to be with them because, see, in Boise, I was known as the citizen journalist for Boise. I was the one that got it started going to all the far right events. So I got well known in Boise and I was on Facebook Live. So I
Okay.
wanted to be with everybody wherever they're going.
Uh-huh.
But they walked over to the east side where I ended up staying, and I didn't know where they went because I was up front waiting for him and thinking, where's Trump going to be? Because
Uh-huh.
there's another man there on a stage talking. I'm really confused what's happening. I just thought I'll stay there. I didn't know there's two sides to the Capitol. Now,
Okay.
not to minimize my side, but I have to say it this way so you know the side that was very violent that the media was showing you.
Uh-huh.
I'm not on that side, so a lot of
Okay.
people get confused where I'm at. My
Okay.
side was violent too, but
Uh-huh.
it wasn't shown for a
Uh-huh.
long time on the media.
Was your side where the guys were crawling up the wall?
No,
No. Okay.
that's what I'm saying. That's the side everybody saw. I'm on the other side of it. They show some of it now, but it
Uh-huh.
was really minimized.
Okay. 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 All right. So so now I understand what this whole thing was with you being a citizen journalist. You had gotten involved in MAGA just because you met community there. You had some girlfriends, you meet them and you guys are doing the MAGA thing, right? So you're all like hanging out. Pam, what did you witness next after you talked with the Proud Boys? What happened next?
Well, a man by the name of William Dunphy, he's been since arrested. He turned to me because I asked him, what are you talking about with the officer? He says, well, we're negotiating. They're going to let us get up to the steps and move the barrier,
Okay.
the bike racks. I said,
Okay.
oh, that would be great. We'll get up closer. Maybe Trump's going to be on the steps. I
Because
thought this is,
he was coming to the Capitol. Did you hear him?
yes, no, but that's whatever. I heard it later,
Okay. Okay.
watching news, but no, I was too far away from where he was talking when, but all of a sudden they start pushing on the barriers. So I'm thinking, you know how you're in a hurry to get into a concert
Yeah.
or a football game? People start, they're going to let you in, but people are pushing too fast.
Uh-huh.
So in my mind, plus I'd taken a pain pill, which made me not think right.
Uh-huh.
I had no idea what those pain pills do to you, but
Mm-hmm.
I needed it because I was starting to have a lot of sharp pains.
Mm-hmm.
So I go around thinking that they're letting us in, and I'm going, come on in, it's our house, come on in. Oh my God.
You on video saying it's our house. Come on
I'm
in. I
on video.
did on some of those videos. Yeah.
Yep. They're on CNN. They're all over the place. That's what got me in trouble.
I know.
That
I'm like, what were you thinking?
that they were letting us in. So I went to the officer and I said, "What's going on?" I didn't see anybody coming. I'm trying to tell them, "Come on, they're letting us in." She says, "They're not letting them in." I said, "Oh my God!" Right then, my heart went down to my feet. I thought, "Oh my God, what have I done? What have I
Uh-huh.
said?" So
Uh-huh.
they put me back to the same spot, and within minutes, William Dunphy and a whole bunch more people started pushing real hard. And the first time and the second time, the same officer pulls me over. He must have seen that I was panicking,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm an older woman, I'm panicking, and he was trying to help me. That's
Mm-hmm.
all. Get me
Mm-hmm.
away from the crazy crowd because they were pushing me onto those barriers. So
Uh-huh.
he picks me up, puts me behind him, and I ran to the captain. I told the captain I got a lot of stitches. I don't know what's going on. All these people are coming at you like a buffalo.
Uh-huh.
I'm freaking out. I'm not thinking straight. Your adrenaline's going. And he said, go up to the steps. I'm going to call in right now and tell him to put you behind him. I get to the steps and the so-called, what do you want to call them? They're not patriots. Crowd
Uh-huh.
tried push me up against an officer, but I was thinking real quick and I pulled myself back so I don't land on the officer. Landed on my back. They pulled out my shoulder, stepped on my head, broke my glasses, cut my knee. I could not breathe because they were stepping on me, my chest, mainly my head.
Uh-huh.
and then an officer pulls me up and gets me behind them. So
Did you ever
that's,
find out who that officer was?
yeah, I have video on this, but
Okay.
they all have masks. So
Oh,
one day I'm hoping we can find them. I could thank them.
okay.
If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here because I could not breathe. I wasn't breathing. I had to sit down for like almost 20 minutes or longer just to
Uh-huh.
get my air back. It was like, yeah,
Uh-huh. But you didn't stop videotaping because you kept
no,
taping and videotaping and walking around,
no.
what have you, and ran into the shaman, the shaman guys is the guy with the horns, and he got up on the in the chamber, in the Senate chamber, and was acting a fool. We
Well,
saw
what I,
it over the
well,
news.
what I learned later is they were bringing them around and letting them out on my side. See, so I didn't know the other side was even happening.
Okay.
I
Oh,
heard something
uh-huh.
later in my video, somebody saying there's a violence going on the other side, and I didn't know what they're talking about because
Uh-huh.
I'd never been to the Capitol. I thought there's one entrance to the Capitol,
Uh-huh.
maybe a back door, but I
Uh-huh.
thought I was in the main part of the Capitol.
Uh-huh.
But no, what happened? I got up, I started videotaping. I asked the captain if I could help the officers. They were getting pepper sprayed. He said no, because, in public, they can't let a normal citizen help them for
Mm-hmm.
liability reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me to stand over there, and I did, and I kept videotaping. Then all of a sudden, speed up the time, though, it's like a half hour later, I see people coming in and out of the door, and I'm going, oh, I guess they're letting them in now. But I
Uh-huh.
thought this time I'll have it on video. I'm
Oh,
not going to go in illegally, right?
mhm.
So I get up front, which is so stupid, but I've never been in a crowd. I'm not thinking, hindsight is always wonderful. But
Right.
there's two officers, and they're bringing them out, and people are pushing themselves in though. Now
Uh,
I didn't recognize that at the time, but if people are coming in and out, I'm thinking they're allowing them. Who would illegally go in there anyway?
uh-huh.
But I thought I'd get it on video, but I got shoved in.
Okay.
So once I got in, I sat down, and then officers helped me get out because I told them I can't get back in this crazy crowd. They've already stepped on me and almost killed me. Help me
Uh,
get out because I got stitches. And
right.
that's what prosecutor was upset about because I had taken the officers from their duty by
Uh,
helping me.
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it too. I get it too. Um, let's see. There is a question in the chat. When did the QAnon split into Q and Anon? And what can you suggest for threat assessment? I used to get FBI memos. This is Shoei Howie. She's in a red part of Michigan, and she's going up against her red neighbors for Kamala Harris. That much I know about Shoei Howie. Do you know what she's speaking about?
I don't know. Don't know what FBI memos are.
I don't know either. Do you know anything about QAnon when you were
You
had
know,
yeah?
I'd heard some of their stuff, and right away I thought they were crazy. So there were some things that just didn't seem to crazy.
Mm-hmm,
So I learned a little bit about it, and they say it goes way back to Michael Flynn starting it. Of course, he's denying that,
of
but
course.
it's all conspiracy, crazy. I wouldn't pay attention to anything they tell you. They really, I've had somebody call me and say, "Get ready because Trump's going to take over in the next 4 days. Everything's going to shut down." I said,
Wow.
"Oh, in 4 days." Well, that was 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So they put out really weird, crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. Here's another question. And what do you think about expungement for yourself and others?
Absolutely not. No, no J6er should have a pardon, and I wouldn't accept it for nothing. Why? Because it would set a precedence that that day was okay, whatever we did. No, I don't care if you were just on the grounds, if you were on there illegally.
Mm-hmm.
A price should be paid, and the punishment should be, no,
Mm-hmm.
no
Okay.
pardons.
Okay. Hold on. Uh it was a list of scary things that the FBI was watching for. That's what she's saying
Oh,
with those FBI memos are. Hello,
okay.
guys.
If
Wow.
they want to, you want me to talk about what I see happening regarding the threat?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, they are planning another revolt. It, it, the connection is, this is not new. Actually, if you follow them on Twitter, you'll connect the same dots as me. It's not
Uh-huh.
like I'm telling anybody something that's a secret.
I
It's
try not
most,
to follow them on Twitter,
well, I do because I'm watching them very closely.
yeah,
But Michael Flynn, I do not call him general because he's a disgrace to this country. He's
he
a
is.
traitor. So
Yes.
Michael Flynn, Ivan Racklin, and Ammon Bundy. Ivan Racklin has met up with Ammon Bundy's father, Cliven, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a video out there of them meeting together. So I'm not, this could be verified.
Mm-hmm.
And with Ammon Bundy's People's Rights, they're throughout the nation. And what I was at one of their trainings, and I put up this video too. They're training people to how to put together their own grand jury, and they get these sheriffs, these fake sheriffs, to deputize you. And this is where Ivan Racklin has a list. This is not new; everybody knows about it, of
Who
who
was
they're going.
Racklin? Help us out. Help me out. Who was that?
Well, I don't have all the details in his past in front of me right now to be correct on it, but he
Just
was.
general. Who is he? He's just was he an official in government?
I'd have to get some help from my friend here about Ivan Racklin. What's his past history? He was in the service. I think he worked for Trump, didn't he? No? Michael, can you help me? I'm sorry, what? Yeah, just mainly with Flynn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't have the details about him in front of
That's
me
okay. That's
right
okay.
now. I'm sorry. But
That's okay.
he's up at the Capitol all the time. He's really in with the J6ers.
Okay.
But he's got a big enough following. He's well enough known in the mega world.
In the
He's
mag.
very well known up there.
Okay.
Very visual and insane. But they want to arrest these officials, and Biden is on the list.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
these top people are on their list, and they're going to arrest you, take them to their grand jury,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, convict them of treason. And you know the price for treason. This
Yeah.
is their insanity thinking that I see them following through, because
Mm-hmm.
when I was with Ammon Bundy, they were training people, and I have the training video. So yeah, there's going to be a revolt, but I feel sorry for them. See, Trump wants to watch television and see
Right.
all his people being shut down, because this time the government, you're not going to mess with this government. They're going to think that they can. They don't have the numbers that they sound like.
Mhm.
And we'll
Wow.
see. We'll see. It's kind
I,
of scary.
it is scary. Can I it is scary. Latrice Davis asks, do you still have any contact with Bundy or the Proud Boys?
Oh no, I never had contact with the Proud Boys anyway. But no, Ammon Bundy ended probably right before January 6th because of
Mm,
what they did inside the St. Luke's hospital. They
uh-huh.
got mad at me for telling them to leave, and I
Uh-huh.
got mad at them. But no, I don't.
Yeah. I think that you recognize the Proud Boys by what they were wearing when you were out there at Stop the Steal rally. And that's how your connection with the Proud Boys was. That
Well,
was
no,
correct?
no, I just saw them in videos in Portland,
Okay.
but there could have been a few Proud Boys out here in Boise. But see, they weren't wearing those black shirts with the yellow,
Uh-huh.
that shirt they wear.
Uh-huh.
That's how I knew they were Proud Boys, if I saw a shirt. But
Uh-huh.
in person, I never knew them, and
Right.
I never knew they were racist
Uh-huh.
until my boyfriend told me what that meant. Uh, I
Yeah.
didn't know.
You know
I,
what?
I had no clue.
In my sorority and fraternity world, I know you've heard of the D9 now. You're familiar. Well, Kamala Harris is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. You
Oh,
you've been hearing that, right? About
yeah,
sororities and the
yeah.
black sororities and fraternities are called D9 organizations. That symbol is what the members of Kappa Alpha Psi do, the fraternity. And I told my Kappa friends, I said, they co-opting your sign. And it's these signs are just, they're all in fun. Just, hey, it's just silly, just little silly stuff. Except for now, the Pride Boys, they do use that symbol, and that symbol is something that one of the D9 fraternities use. Just a little anecdote, little story for you, Pam. That's all. Let's see. Somebody else had a question for you. What do you know about Laura Loomer
Oh
or
boy.
anything?
She got, she broke out of a mental health hospital. She called me when I first got out of prison. We talked for a little bit, and I couldn't get a word in. I think she's probably not to discredit or say anything bad about bipolar people, but
Uh-huh.
when a bipolar is active, they're
Mm-hmm.
real hyper and they talk very fast.
Mm-hmm. And they're
And she was all into herself and stuff she was doing and trying to get information out of me. And everybody was calling me, including her. Please don't plead guilty. Go to trial. You did nothing wrong. It wasn't your fault, Pam. But I knew the first phone call, and she ended up calling a few other times.
mm-hmm.
But something was wrong with this lady. You just know when you're talking to people, there's something going on here that's really kind of weird and extremely self-centered. So
Uh-huh.
looking back, I could probably label her as a narcissist.
Yeah. Well, look at who she hangs with, the head
Yeah,
narcissist in chief, right? Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Pam, when you after you witnessed took all your videotape, you're injured and what have you from your experiences there at the Stop the Steal rally, you get home. How long did you spend the night in Washington, D.C., or did you take a flight right that same day?
Yeah, I got there on the 5th and I
Mm-hmm.
left on the 7th.
On the 7th. Okay, so you
Yeah.
spent the night there. Okay. So after you made it home from the Stop the Steal rally, what were your thoughts? Because you had to see the news about what the reporters were saying about what happened there and what have you. Unless you were watching Fox News, I don't know.
Well, no, actually, what happened when I got back to my room, the Mega girls were there, and they
Okay.
were telling me about the other side of the Capitol and what had happened, that a
Mhm.
woman had been shot. I didn't know her name at the time. I
Ashley.
don't think that how horrible it was. They were scared. They all left. It was very violent. Of course, the police started it. That's the first thing they said. They
Okay.
were all peaceful, and all of a sudden, the police started attacking us for no reason.
Right.
That's the mega
Right.
gaslight and lie.
Right. Right.
And then, so I got up to my room and I called. I had become um, kind of, I don't know, the Boise, Idaho State Police that guard the governor here in Boise.
Hmm.
We started talking because I had videotaped somebody that had scratched on the Liberty Bell FUCK USA, and I caught him,
Hmm.
turned him into the Capitol Police. So we would talk, and I would turn over any video. So we became not friends
Hmm.
because they're professional,
Right.
but I would let them know if anything crazy was going on to protect people,
Right.
give them a heads up. Like Emmett Bundy's going to a judge's house. I let them know that because I was so against that.
Yes.
You don't do that.
Right.
Uh, those were some of the things that the People's Rights Amendment Bundy were doing that was so wrong. But
Hmm.
anyway, so I called him and I told him, I'm really scared. I'm hearing we're getting arrested. I got shoved in. What do I do? Do I call the FBI? And he says, no, Pam, I'll keep an eye on the list for you, and
Hmm.
I'll let you know. And you just go home. And um, but we stayed in contact for a little bit, and I talked to them afterwards. And
Hmm.
I wasn't sure if I was in trouble or not.
Okay.
I didn't know. But I figured they know where I'm at. Everybody knows Pam Hemphill in Boise, But I think what happened, because they know me so well, knew everything I was up to, they
Mhm.
had to. I was under the care of chemotherapy within a week when I came back, that they probably waited to come and arrest me until I was done with my chemotherapy. Because with chemotherapy, you can't walk to the bathroom.
Okay.
So I could see them not wanting to arrest me in the middle of that.
So when did you get arrested, Pam?
I'd have to have these dates in front of me because I still have chemo brain to a certain extent
Uh-huh.
to to give exact dates on that stuff like that. But it was probably within 8 months of January the 6th.
Okay.
And when
Okay.
the FBI came, they were very kind, very good to me. The
Mhm.
female officer was like a sister. I
Uh-huh.
started crying. I said, I'd never been to jail. I was scared to death.
Uh-huh.
They were very nice to me, and they didn't even handcuff me. There was a story out there that a granny had been dragged down the stairs in handcuffs.
That was the narrative that Maga was putting out, and that's when Trump wrote horrible on Truth Social, and then
Right.
you went. I have the video now. That video I do have, but I'm gonna let this question come through from Miss Butler. After listening to Trump when he first started running, I think she's saying running for president. What made you join his movement?
Well, at the time, you don't think it's a movement. You think you're in the Republican Party. We
Right.
know now it's turned into a movement,
Yeah, it
into
has.
a, it's a
Yes.
cult. It's a cult now. But
And
at the
we're
time, I'm not involved in politics per se. My family are. They're really, I mean, they read all the books, they listen to everything, and they're real Republicans. So I was relying on their judgment because I don't care. I don't care who's going to be president or not. That was me back then. I was researching a lot on addiction, trying
Mhm,
to still help alcoholics and addicts get clean and sober. Politics was over here. So
mhm.
if you were to tell me to vote for somebody, I would. But I asked one of my family members, I said, but I don't like that he said we'll grab him by the pee. I don't
Yeah,
like that. You know
yeah.
what the first thing everybody's told me? Oh, Pam, minimize it.
Mhm.
That's just men's locker room talk.
Right, and that's exactly what they said. It was men's locker room talk. Melania said it, and everybody else said it. I remember that, and the evangelicals said it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
minimize, make you feel like you're wrong for questioning it.
right, exactly. Everybody was. We were all gaslit for sure.
Yeah.
Latrice asked, "What was the environment like in the courtroom during your trial or sentencing? What was it like?" And now I am going to get to that whole thing about her prison experience for sure. Yeah, what was it like during your sentencing?
Well,
And
because of the pandemic, mine was Zoom. I was never in court.
oh, right, the pandemic. That's right. That's right. Okay. 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 So, and that was the next thing I was going to get to you. Um, with what I was thinking, Pam, as I was reading about your background and what have you. I think that because you are a counselor in addiction and all of that type of thing, that you have a healthy respect about people how they think and emotionally and what have you. And I think that that made you be better to see and understand that the MAGA movement had evolved into a cult. It had gone beyond just a normal admiration. Like I
Yeah.
admire President Obama, but I'm not gonna go and be a lackey for President Obama. You know what I'm saying? Not like that
Hmm.
kind of thing. And so I think that do you think that helped you in your deprogramming of yourself in that whole MAGA world? Do you think that your background in counseling helped you?
It definitely has been an advantage to recognize that I was wrong and
Hmm.
admitting that I was wrong. I was guilty for my crime that day,
Hmm.
that part. Because one of my steps, it says when you're wrong, promptly admit it. Now, I never promptly admit anything, but I get there. I get there. And when I'm wrong, I will admit it, and I will try to make amends wherever I can for
Mm-hmm.
anything that I need to make amends for.
Mm-hmm.
But amends means to make it right. How do you make being there on January 6th ever right?
Right.
But
Right.
but the only thing I can do is keep speaking out. But no, actually, the way it revolved. Do you want me to speak on how I came to turn around?
Absolutely. I have that in my notes, but you go with the flow. Go, keep going. Yes.
Because still, I was the victim. I was still a victim because in my heart, I didn't intend to break any law. I still had that thinking, that victim.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have pushed barriers, but yet I'm telling you to push.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Two people. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying push the
Mm-hmm.
night before,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking I wouldn't push. I'm not going to break laws, but I did. You have to, and thank God for a good therapist that said, Pam, you were not a victim that day. You were a volunteer. Nobody held you down. Nobody made you go there. Nobody made you stay there. And I thought, I'm not coming back and talking to this therapist anymore.
Ah,
You know what I mean?
shout
So I
out
went.
to the therapist.
So I go back to the therapist though a week later, and he was right. I told him, you're right. I'm
Mm,
glad I was seeing him. And yeah, I was wrong. I was guilty for that day. I had a choice.
that's right.
There's nobody to blame.
Right, right. And Mary Rarick, I saw your comment up here, and I know you might not have been here at the beginning. You say you can't say you're not involved in politics when you fly to the Capitol. Earlier on, Mary, she explained to us how the flight to the Capitol for the Stop the Steal rally was a gift from a family member because Pam is a citizen journalist there in Boise and she videotapes everything. So she was involved in what have you, but in a, anyway, we she's gone through that explanation a little bit ago. Renee, let me get back to Renee's. This latest news about the second Trump assassination attempt. What do you think those groups will do? Those groups, she's thinking about the radical groups. Also, do you believe Trump will lose the election? And is that a worry to those in the radical groups,
Um,
to the MAGA groups, in other words?
Nobody could predict anything. However, my maybe it's my hope. I think it'll be a very close win. I mean, I can't think right now.
Or
I believe Kamala will win. I can't see how she can't with all her policies the love she has for this country. I mean, everything about her is fantastic.
it is. It's a such
Um,
fresh air. My God.
oh, that's why I do a lot of dance videos. I said, "Make America dance again." You see all the way all those videos she's dancing.
Uh-huh.
I just love her when she's
I
dancing.
see you dancing, girl.
Uh,
You
it'll
Pam.
be, but my fear is that they won't even. They will revolt before the election even comes around. That's my fear,
That's your.
because I think they're afraid of her. I think they are afraid of losing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely there will be a revolt, and Trump's setting it up just like he did January 6th by throwing out all this garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough information. I don't like to talk on something until the FBI has gathered enough stuff that we could really share and talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm frightened about this second attempt. I'm really scared about it because they will use it and lie about it like they did the first one. I listened to Sam Volknick. Sam Volknick. He's an expert on narcissists, and he even agreed, which I was thinking, the first one was a lone wolf.
Mm-hmm.
See, what they've been putting out there is projection. They
Yes.
put Alex Jones. I got into his space and he talked to me. I said,
Oh.
how dare I've got that clip. I said,
Oh.
how dare you be saying that they're going to assassinate Joe Biden? See, they put it out there that they're going to assassinate Trump And if they do, then the Republicans, or the Maga, let's say Maga, will be able to have a good reason to shut the Democrats down. Just think if you're a young man and you say to yourself, oh, if I get rid of Trump, we're going to win. If we even make it look like I wanted to kill him. I mean, some crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
So they put this out there in a way that hoping somebody else will do that. It's kind of crazy. It's like a reverse psychology. I don't know. Explain what am I saying it right?
Yes, you are saying it right. I get it what you're saying. I get it. Here's another comment. Does she understand, she's talking about you, why Black people feel the way that they do when it comes to police in our community? A Black person would never have been treated that way. What does she think about him now? Been treated
A
that
black,
way. I
what
think
way?
I think Jennifer's referring, you remember when you said how the FBI was very kind to you, that the FBI lady was like a sister. She's thinking that if you were Black, that you would not have been treated that way. That's what she's saying.
I can understand that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because
You know
listen,
what I mean?
yeah, because before you came, when you were coming to DC, you said that you all were told, "Oh, look out for the Black Lives Matter,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and you didn't see nobody, none of us around there.
No, I wish I had. There are only a few,
Uh huh.
just a
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
people of color, not to, but I totally understand that, and
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense.
Yeah. Um. Weren't the shots fired miles from where we saw? Oh, Mary, you must be talking. You must be referring to what Renee said in the chat about the second assassination attempt. I guess so. I've been trying not to keep up with him, but yeah,
That was 300 feet, they said today.
300
Three,
feet.
300 to 400 feet. Yeah.
Okay. I don't consider myself a conspiracy nut, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was someone in Trump's inner circle trying to take him out and prop Vance up to succeed him. You know what, Latrice? There was a whole, while I was doing research on you, Pam, I ran across something. I, you know how you read, you know how it is on social media, you read so much stuff. And I read where there was this whole thing about how really the whole motive is to elevate Vance. And I thought, that is really strange, but who knows?
No, what you have to do is go watch a documentary. You
Mm-hmm.
want to know about the roots of Project 2025, okay? You want to
Yes.
know, where did this all start? It
Yeah.
started in 1930.
Mm-hmm.
In 1953, they started the first national prayer breakfast.
Yes, I know that movie. I can't think of the name of
The family.
the family. Yeah, oh, it's scary. I mean,
And
it's
they,
disturbing.
yeah, you gotta go watch it because it's all been embedded in Congress for since then. And they call him the Wolf King. Okay, they don't care who's the president. It's a Vance or Trump. They're the puppets for the Heritage Foundation and a whole bunch of other organizations, not
Yes,
just the Heritage Foundation. So
right.
they don't go into thinking that they're doing it to get Vance in there. No, because they don't care who's in there. As long as I mean, if Trump died in a natural death, of course
Mm-hmm.
Vance would be taken over, right? Or
Right,
they can choose, their party can choose whoever they want, just like we did.
right.
That's their right. No, they don't care. There's not. I wouldn't go with those kind of conspiracy thoughts. It's
Mm-hmm.
the Heritage Foundation that want to implement Project 2025, and they got their Wolf King to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a self-centered narcissist that just wants power, and he'll do anything they tell him to, as long
Right,
as, especially if he's going to have power to stop you and me from having any more protests.
right, right. And free speech.
Mm.
Deb wants to know, do you think that MAGA is basically a racial hate group?
When I was in it, I wouldn't believe that at all. But today, absolutely, absolutely. In
Things that,
fact, I was at the LGBT Boise Pride Festival today. And
you?
the love that I got from everybody. There was this, it was like I was so high in that parade. I'm
Uh-huh.
taking pictures and videotaping. When I
Uh-huh.
was with Maga, I
Mm-hmm.
remember feeling hateful,
Yeah.
depressed. I gained weight. I was unhappy.
Uh-huh.
Being in a Democrat, around Democrats now, I'm 120 pounds. I'm happy.
Mhm.
I sleep better at night.
In
But
love.
One Love, I'm a Bob Marley fan. My daughter sings Bob Marley songs. Uh,
Okay.
you got to play one.
All right.
Yeah, you'd love it. It's She dedicated it to the Black Lives Matter.
Uh-huh.
It's called No More Trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, yep, they're a racial hate group.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now you feel that they've evolved into that. Because really and truly, it's like the Republicans to me, they gave over all of their power. They just stopped fighting for what is right. They stopped speaking up for what is right. And they've really ruined their own party, if you
Yep.
ask.
Well, they call it the Christian Nationalists, but actually it's Project 25, 2025. And it's, like I shared with you from the family, when you go watch that documentary, it's been embedded. It's their Jesus.
Yes.
And their Jesus is very, they want this to be a prejudice, their Jesus.
Right.
They want this to be an all white Christian nation. Kid you not. And
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact.
I've done some shows on Project 2025, and I've had an expert. I'm gonna share with you, Pam, a video I did with he's actually my pastor, but he's written on Christian nationalism. He's really smart man. It's I try to have some good shows with some good content here. Let's see. Something had to motivate you to get involved. What are your beliefs or values? Trump told you in his first time he came down the escalator.
Again, with all the disinformation that was going on out there, and you're not fact checking, you're not researching. So
Uh-huh.
you hear that the Democrats want to turn this into a communist nation. It
Right.
scares you. Of
Right.
course, we have the receipts now, Project 2025. They want it. Everything they say is projection, you
Projection.
know? Yeah.
Uh-huh. And
So
so,
at the time, that's what was my concern. You
right.
wanted to, I don't want a communist country.
Right. But, and you know what? I will say this in your defense. When Trump first came on the scene in the golden elevator, you know, we we collectively became more aware of him and what have you. I will say I watched The Apprentice. I used to laugh at him. I never thought, I did not take him seriously. And the other thing is, Trump ran as a standard bearer Republican. That's how it went at the beginning. So everybody that was a Republican was going Republican. They weren't going MAGA.
Yeah.
So Mary Rarick says that you have a very good therapist. I mean, and was your therapist there in Boise?
Yeah, he's a Harvard graduate,
Oh,
PhD.
okay, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Mr. We're proud of him. We think I'm glad that that you went to him, Mary. I really am. Let's see. Gosh. Oh God. Where did all these things come from? Okay, so she went on as a journalist, got it. Uh
No, we need to make a correction. I'm not a journalist.
no, she's a citizen journalist, Mary.
Well, I don't even know. That's what people told me.
What people
I
call
don't,
her.
I'm
Yeah,
not even,
yeah,
I was just having fun videotaping
she's a
you.
social media influencer with her videos. Let's put
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm not no journalist.
yeah, yeah,
Amateur
yeah.
citizen, having fun, taking videos and
And you're quite good. I must say, I would love for you to be able to take my stuff. Okay, President Biden has the same love for the company. For the company, you must mean country. Those of us who voted for him couldn't imagine him not winning. Yeah, That's true. Let's see. Why are they afraid of her?
Oh, Kamala.
I don't know.
Kamala.
Oh, are you talking about Kamala, Mary? See, I think what Mary is doing, she's responding to people in the chat.
Oh,
I agree, Latrice. See, that's what's going on. Trump is a Trojan horse. Vance is who they want. Like I said, that's what I heard. I read it on social media somewhere.
yeah.
Oh, Jennifer says, I respect the fact that you came forward and has given us insight on the mindset of the MAGA movement. Thank you for your bravery to speak out.
Oh, well, thank you.
I've been seeing you've been getting a lot of kudos for that. And I will say the very fact that I received a phone call from somebody warning me about you, I was like, what is going on? All I'm doing is trying to get an interview. I thought you were fascinating, and I like interesting people. So I'm gonna talk to them. Okay, Shoei says, what do you think about this coming January 6th? Oh God. Wise men, not proud boys, aka Magi, not Maggie events weren't much. What about reserving public spaces before the thugs can? One idea is birthday parties because the thugs have ruined the day. I think she said, "Are you talking about Christmas, Showy?" Showy always talks in rhythms or rhymes or something. I don't know. What is she talk? What is she saying? Okay, we have law enforcement in our area that participate in the white supremacy and the KKK nationalism group. Again, Shoei is in a red part of Michigan. As you well know, that's my home state, by the way. And remember when Governor Whitmer was they had that whole plot to kidnap her and
Yeah.
stuff. I think Shoei must live somewhere in that vicinity of where those guys are, unfortunately.
Be cautious, not paranoid.
Yeah, be cautious, not paranoid. I like that.
We're taking back our flag.
Yeah, right,
I don't
right.
like bullies. I don't like bullies. So that's why I wear my Kamala t-shirt.
I,
I do the opposite. You don't want me to stand out. I stand in the corner with her sign.
yeah.
Yeah, come get me. Just get mad at me all you want.
How much are you communicating with others about Trump and helping to educate them about who he really is? Anita wants to know that.
Well, so far where I live, I've gotten 2 people, but it's not like I'm out canvassing trying to find people to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
However, now that we're going to the corner with our sign, people have come to us, but like my boyfriend was keeping watch. It was like 16 thumbs up. Everybody's so happy I'm out there with that sign. And then you get the thumbs down and you get the other finger. But I noticed there's a rumor that Boise's turning blue. Let's hope. I really believe that
Red
this.
Boise?
I
Wow.
think we have a good chance. Maybe not this right now, but I think eventually it will turn blue.
I read something that it used to be blue and then it was blue at one point in its history and then it just kept going red for forever.
Yeah.
Idaho, Wyoming, I forget what the other state was I was reading about. Let's see. Okay, no, that's not that one. This white woman is Scottish and her great grandfather played with Varden, cheats at golf. I don't know what what are you talking about? Right down. In other words, she's got the those bad people are right down her street. I painted no hate on my 2-car garage door. Oh my God. It
I
sounds
love it.
like living in a Montana. Thanks, Mary. It's Montana. So it's Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana that are extra red. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's see. I had okay. Uh Mary, how do we get people out of the Pam, how do we get people out of the cult of Trump? How do we do it?
Well, I tell you, if I had the answer for that one, they'd be down the street paying me. I'd be very rich. There's a book called The Cult of Trump by Stephen Hansen. That's a good place to start with
Oh,
his book.
okay.
Yeah, The Cult of Trump.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what worked is facts and
Mm-hmm.
finding out the facts. When I started my own J6, I was still the victim. I started the J6 space on X, and I had J6ers and other supporters of the J6 criminals
Mm-hmm.
come in, and I learned that Ryan Samsel, he was the one wearing the Trump hat, and Epps whispered in his ear. He pushed the barriers and knocked down a female officer, where I had found out in jail because Gateway Pundit put out an article that he
Mm-hmm.
had lost his whole eyeball. And I
Oh.
thought, that's not good. I'm going to advocate for him no matter what, and so many people were calling me at that time. So his girlfriend, I was talking to her,
Mm-hmm.
and she had told me that that wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of his lawyers, and that upset me. And his give, send, and go went up to $40,000 just from that story being out in one day. I
Mm-hmm.
thought they're all lying. What
Mm-hmm.
had happened? He had called somebody in jail the N word, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe it was the guards that beat him up. Most likely the people in there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so from there is where it all started. I said, wait, what else are they lying about? And
Mm.
plus, everybody was always upset at me already and ignoring me a little bit because I wouldn't stand up for those that had harmed the officers. I said, why do we want to talk about them? I mean, they hit an officer. Why are you standing for that? I
Right.
thought it was about maybe illegal stuff like court stuff, or
Mm.
you know what I mean? It wasn't making these criminals heroes. And they were upset that I didn't want to plead, that I pleaded guilty. And so,
I saw that. I saw
and
that. They
so I
want.
got out of there and started the J6 gaslighting space. And
Uh-huh.
all the sedition hunters and real researchers came in and brought information with receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Not, how people come in and tell you something? They
Uh-huh.
brought they brought the evidence.
They brought the
So,
evidence.
and
Okay.
that makes a big difference.
Right, right. Pam, you know what I wanted to ask you that I heard, and Latrice had brought it up too. What was your experience like in federal prison?
Oh, I need to shout this out. I do it every opportunity I can.
Okay.
Write down her name.
Okay.
It's Free Michelle West.
Free Michelle
West.
West.
She's a beautiful black Muslim lady.
Uh-huh.
She's in there on false charges. She got life in prison. Her daughter was almost able to get Obama to get her out. I don't know the whole story behind that.
Uh-huh.
I think she's gotten enough signatures. She is really one of those as a victim of the system. Everybody's not guilty in prison,
Right.
but I did enough research on her story. She she needs to get released. But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here because
Really?
it was 95% cartel women that hated Trump. Well, I'm glad they do, you
Uh,
know. And so I was J6er, and I was in a unit for people that were 10 years sentence and life sentence. I should never have been in that
you should
unit.
have never been in that kind of group.
No.
Because
Well,
she had misdemeanor federal charges.
and she said to me, what are you doing here? Nobody's ever been in this unit with a misdemeanor. It's impossible. Most of misdemeanors don't even go to prison. I
Uh-huh.
said, well, I've got a misdemeanor. But she checked up on me and came back and apologized. She said, yeah, you got a misdemeanor.
Uh-huh.
But she said these women are planning on putting drugs in your room. And if
Mm,
you get caught, you get a 4 more year sentence. Now you have two people in the room, so there's no way to prove that you didn't do it.
right.
Or they'll put drugs in your drink and you're not looking. You go to grab your water, there's drugs in there.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it was scary. It was so scary. It was horrible. The food, even the employees there, the guards have to eat this food, and I wouldn't give it to a starving dog. It's that bad.
Mm,
You know how packages have an end date? Well,
yes.
that end date don't mean nothing. It's
Okay.
probably 2 months past the end date.
Uh-huh. Oh,
But prison shouldn't be okay.
right, but it shouldn't be inhumane either.
Agreed, but there are some of the stories that the J6ers are telling you are a lie. Like when my prison, if you were medically in trouble, they were there. They were
Mm-hmm.
there quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the women getting exams, and I had a teeth exam, I had ear exam, I had a physical.
Mm-hmm.
You could get a
Mm-hmm.
you know anything a female needed.
Mm-hmm.
So not but that prison, I think it ended up closing. I'm pretty sure because the warden went to prison himself for
Oh,
molesting the women, and there
oh
was a big
boy.
drug screen. You can look it up. It's
Yeah.
Dublin Prison,
Was it
California. Huh?
Dublin? Dub
Dublin.
okay.
Dublin. It's by
Prison.
Oakland and San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
worst, second number two worst prison in the United States.
Really? Wow. Shoei says, why do we want to spend time, energy, and money on cult members? I feel for addicts, and maybe the cult members are addicted, but people I know are really mean and hurtful. That she's speaking of the MAGA cult people. Okay. Oh, these two Pams are awesome. Thank you, Shoei. I tell you, is there any? We're right at a little at 9 o'clock. Is there any parting words of advice, or what you think we should do next, or should be looking out for, Pam, in the coming?
My dog was barking.
I hear.
um, no, just stand your ground with your beliefs and don't let these people try to tell you, oh, gaslight you. Keep a list of the things that our Vice President Harris has accomplished, because I got a list of 47 things. Keep a
Mm-hmm.
list of about 3 of them on a little card, and then a list on the other side of the things that Trump has not accomplished. And stand your ground with your family or your friends and said, you want to know what Trump did to our country? Here's
Mm-hmm.
some facts.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah.
not going to listen to you. They don't care that even your facts, they don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
Just stand your ground and know that you're on the right side of history if you're going to vote blue.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just stick together and hold, keep supporting her, do whatever you can for the Democrat Party, volunteer. I'm standing on the corner. I'm by myself with the sign. If anybody wants to come in Boise, Idaho, I'm there every Saturday at 4 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay, you're getting a lot of thanks in the chat, Pam, for coming. Yeah, I think thank you for the show. I think once Trumpster is gone, things might be lifted for others. We need to vote blue and get him gone. Yeah,
absolutely.
I believe that so wholeheartedly. The only thing that makes me pause, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, is that Project 2025, nobody writes a 1,000-page document without the intent of implementing it. And several things have already been implemented with the going away of DEI at universities. Look what the Supreme Court has done and things like that. So, you know, what you said to us earlier in the show about lone wolves and revolts and things like that, I guess we just need to be prayerful and mindful, right?
Yeah. Don't get paranoid. Just be cautious. And I really have a lot of faith in the FBI. They
Mm-hmm.
know what's happening. They're watching. They're watching very closely. I think don't let that stop you to go in person and vote.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no.
No, they think there's going to be another January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad that Trump
It,
would even.
yeah, but the thing is that with our administration in office, and we got a prosecutor as a vice president running for office, I think she's got something in mind. I think
Oh yeah.
they
Oh yeah.
they don't need to tell us that, but I think that they are ready. You
Yeah,
know,
they're
yeah,
ready. They're
yeah,
going to take care of us. They're going to protect us.
yeah, yeah,
They can
yeah.
have faith in the DOJ. They are not weaponized against Trump or any J6 defendant.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
They
Yep.
broke the law. That's all. They broke the law. So did Trump.
Okay, you guys, let's get started. All right. Oh, Pennsylvania starts early voting tomorrow. Get in touch with your Pennsylvania family and friends. Yes, because we must win Pennsylvania. Absolutely. Well, Pam, this has been
Thank
delightful.
you.
I am so thankful for you
Thank you.
coming. And you guys in the audience, you asked some great questions, and as I knew they would, they always do. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm
And
so happy. I know somebody in Mountain Time. Now I've
yeah,
interviewed somebody in Mountain Time.
yeah.
Great. Yeah. Well, listen, you take care. And your boyfriend there on the side there, I don't see him. Tell him I said hi. And we
Okay.
appreciate him, and we appreciate you, Pam. And I'd love to have you back sometime.
Oh, anytime for you, Pam.
Okay.
Anytime.
All right.
I was listening to some of your shows. You're fantastic.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
your spirit really got to me. I thought she is beautiful. I love her.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Samaj says, proud of the two Pams. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll say wave goodbye to
Goodbye.
everyone.